Hi there, welcome to the Fierce Factor podcast. I'm your host, Kaylee Lindholm. And I think it's time for us women to shift the conversation in business and step into our feminine leadership to do the most iconic work the aesthetic industry has ever seen. Each week, I'll be bringing a powerful dose of strategy, sarcasm, solutions, and sass that will rev up your creativity and ignite your brilliance as you link arms with me along our shared path of personal and professional growth in 20 minutes or less. Let's go. Hello, fierce leaders. Kaylee Lindholm here, tuning in with another fabulous episode of the Fierce Factor podcast, the leading community for female business owners like you to tap into the systems, strategies, and confidence to build your empire and disrupt the status quo while getting paid like a seven-figure CEO. And today I want to share with you a little bit about why my business operates the way it does. You see, it's built upon a value system that focuses on relationships, not transactions. Now, I've been on a mission over the past year with this podcast, not only to shift the conversation around the need for feminine-powered leadership and aesthetics, but also to raise awareness for the need for an elevated conversation around what it's going to take to be successful in the new era of aesthetics. If you haven't listened to it, go back and check out episode 39, 2021 Aesthetic Trends, Creating Momentum for Our Clients. So here's the thing. We have been patiently, actively, and attentively asking powerful questions and listening to you, to our community, and to our clients to develop a carefully formulated curriculum in our academy that takes our students step by step through the growth milestones that will teach them how to masterfully build a deeply satisfying, lucrative, freedom-based business that stands the test of time. Most of our clients make massive financial leaps during their time working with us, but this is not our primary goal. Let me explain. Through my collective research and tactical experience working with MDs, NPs, PAs, and aesthetic business owners, I've collected a wide body of evidence that proves that female owners desire to scale in business without sacrificing their quality of life. They are looking for lucrative, profit-rich companies that support a life of autonomy and flexibility. Flexibility to vacation without stress, autonomy to choose their dream, autonomy to choose their dream team and clients, and rich profits to reinvest into making a greater impact in the world. If you're a subscriber to this podcast, this probably sounds familiar. And let me tell you, I am no exception to this rule. That is why when you work with us, our handshake with you is not bound by a transaction. It's built around a relationship. When we're evaluating applications for our academy, we're not gauging the size of your bank account. We hold the members in our academy in very high regard. And first and foremost, we are carefully considering the mutual value and contributions of our work together. Our highest value relationships tend to be with female providers and aesthetic CEOs who are looking to scale beyond the $1 million mark. They've typically been in business 1 to 3 years minimum and have a steady flow of clients. They have a strong clinical competency and usually has a specialization or is looking to develop one, are open-minded to fresh ideas, desires to invest in and develop their team, and develop systems for leveraged growth. They stand for something. They're mission-driven, has an opinion, not afraid of ruffling feathers with their perspective. They tend to be relationship builders, and they tend to be someone who wants to be filthy rich in business and in life. And here's the thing, the work we do is strategically designed not just to grow your business, but to grow you as a business leader, you as a woman, you as a wife, you as a mom. You as the powerhouse, untamed badass that you are. There's so much fluffy fake news out there. You need a partner to help you pursue a bigger mission in the world. And this takes what we call $1 million confidence. And a great example of this is last week when one of our nurse practitioner clients who's in the process of opening a second location basically promoted an employee to manage her entire operation, hired a replacement for this employee's previous role, made several shifts to accommodate particular needs of this employee. Next thing you know, client's phone rings. The employee gets an offer from an acquaintance to take a position for a financial advisor doing administrative work that would make her a slightly higher salary than she was currently making. And this is without her upside potential as the new location was to open and succeed. And so this employee asked my client to match the offer that she got from this financial advisor. And as you can imagine, my client was completely distraught. She had already stretched to build a support team under this employee, invested in training, taken the time and resources to structure a business model that included her as the integral piece. And here she was in a no-win situation with this employee, essentially giving her an ultimatum. And so my client, she feels like her back is against the wall. She immediately asked me to help her crunch numbers to find a way to build a comp package that would be competitive with this other offer. And I paused and I was like, let me ask you a question. Before you invest more time and resources into her, does this employee want to work for you and build her career in aesthetics or work in the financial industry? And then there was a pause. And then my client's $1 million freaking dollar confidence kicked in. And she said, you know what, Kaylee? This is my business. I have built this with my own bare hands. Of course, I love this employee and wish her the best. Of course, she felt completely vulnerable at the same time. And then she said, I can't continue to bend my own boundaries to accommodate someone who has lukewarm loyalty to my vision. And then we talked through it and decided it would be best for her employee, who was being teed up into a manager role, to present her own proposal of why and how the business would be able to advance with increased investment into her role and what her recommendations were for supplementing these costs. I would think if you're going to have a management role, this is something that you should be able to effectively do. So that's what she did. And guess what the employee did? Yep, she left. She did the easier thing and she went to take the short-term gain rather than work in a business where she had an owner who was invested in her and was willing to help her grow and ultimately make more money. You see, over the past decade, something truly astounding has been happening before our very eyes. Social media, the masses, commoditization, big business takeovers, the essence of human connection has been lost. And most of the information out there is designed to brainwash you into believing that the next technology or 5-step plan is your magic solution. But notice in this example that comp package our client called about, that never mattered after all. Her leadership and confidence in her ability to stand for what she believed in just created a new level of resilience that she will draw upon for the end of time. That is her $1 million confidence. And that's why our work doesn't involve checklists, top 10 lists, or pass and fail grades. You are on your own journey. You have your own goals. You deserve to be filthy rich if that's what you desire. Or you can work 2 days a week and go to the beach the other 5. And we hold space for that. We aren't about transactions. We're about relationships. And speaking of relationships, if you listen to this podcast and you have not connected personally, please send me a note or screenshot and share this episode on Instagram. I would so appreciate it. And of course, sign up for my weekly email for tons of strategy, tips, and resources to help you catapult your business and life. Head over to klcconsultants.com/join to get yourself access. All right. I hope that explains why we do relationships and not transactions. And I hope you consider this value-rich way of doing business for your own business as well. Thanks for tuning in today, and I will see you next week. Thank you for joining me for this episode of The Fierce Factor. If you enjoyed the show, please make sure you subscribe so you can automatically get new shows every week. I'd also love it if you left us a review. And come join the conversation online. If you're an aesthetic industry owner, operator, or leader, please join my free Facebook group, The Tribe of Fierce Aesthetic Leaders, a community of ambitious, purpose-driven professionals who collaborate and share best practices for growth in business and life. I'm honored you tuned in.